Welcome to another episode, The Mind's Eye with Mike Lowry. I got another good one for you today. Today I want to talk to you guys about communication. Kind of some tips and some things that we stumble across and see if we can work through some of it. Stay tuned. So as I've stated, I wanted to talk to you guys about communication. So let's just start with the definition of communication. So as I've stated, I wanted to talk to you guys about communication. So let's just start with the definition of communication. So based on the definition, it says the pairing or exchange of changing of information by speaking, writing, or using some other medium. As we all know, communication is way more complex than that. Communication is how we talk to one another, how we receive what someone else is saying. And a lot of times that isn't as straightforward as what's coming out of their mouths. It's the tone they use, it's the hand gestures they may use as far as their body language. Proper communication is so important in everything we do each and every day. Saying stuff the wrong way can really change the narrative of a situation just based on using the wrong tone or saying something the wrong way or using the wrong words to convey your message could lead into something going completely downhill when you had no intentions for it to go that way. You ever been in a situation talking about a particular topic, and because you guys were communicating in a way to respond more so to each other versus understanding each other, it kind of went left and a conversation went based on something that happened 6 weeks ago or a month ago, and what you guys were even communicating at hand at the time is not even relevant anymore. So for an example, for me, I have been guilty of this, for a long time. Like in conversation, I would always just, listen to respond. All I wanted to do was get my point across. Hey, this is what I got to say. I don't really care about what you got to say, but you need to listen to me. Obviously, that is clearly not good communication. Good communication is basically like you're actually listening to understand and not listening to respond. Because once you got the full information of what someone is trying to convey to you, then you can better respond with facts and not emotions. Another thing that I've done too in my past was I would communicate to convince someone of something. I'm convincing you that this is the way it is. I'm convincing you that the sky is blue. And then in that convincing stage, the other person obviously begins to try and convince me of what it is they want me to know or feel or do. But what I've learned to do is try to communicate in a way of understanding. Like, okay, I understand your point of view. I understand where you're coming from, and this is the way I see it, versus just completely diminishing what it is that they have to say, and then just pouring everything that I see, feel, or want into the other person. And that's a community. It's not going to work that way. You always have to communicate where you want someone to understand your point of view, not convince them of what you see or feel. So there's just a few different ways that I've realized that that helps communication work better, if you will. Some of the things I'm going to list here as to what's helped me in the past in communicating better, whether it's someone I could be dating or my homeboys, coworkers, family members, or what have you. I know and realize that I have to talk to them all different. And I think with that being said too, like, are you talking to them or are you talking at them? You know what I mean? If you're talking at them, obviously the conversation is going to probably go left more times than none. Are you like talking with calm emotions? Are you communicating in a way where the other person doesn't feel attacked? So here are these things that I list here. Number one, let the other person talk. I mean, especially if they come to you about something that they might be dealing with, don't interrupt them and start talking about what you're dealing with. They called you for a little bit of support, a little bit of help, a little bit of advice. And then in this moment, it's time for you to just listen. And if they ask for advice, they ask for a particular situation, then you give it to them. But other than that, it's your time to listen. Listening is a huge form of communication. Number two, do whatever you can to control your emotions. Try to communicate without feelings, without judgment, and just communicate with the task that is at hand. Number 3, watch your nonverbals. Like, you want to like actively show that you're listening, even if you're not verbally saying anything. I think showing your nonverbals and showing that you're attentively listening without saying anything will allow the conversation to go a lot smoother. Be quick to listen and slow to respond. I'll say this one again. Be quick to listen and slow to respond. I think the biggest things is that how can you fully understand where I'm coming from if I've never had an opportunity to fully explain whatever situation we're talking about? How are you already responding to what I'm talking about before I'm finishing my point? Be slow to speak, quick to listen first. Listen first. It's in everything that you do each and every day, listen first. You'll be much better off as long as you just listen first. I also believe that it's extremely important to know who it is that you're talking to. Like, understand when you're communicating with your mom or your dad, your brother, your sister, your cousin, or what have you, your tone, your body language, the way you speak may all have to adjust just based on the way that particular person may respond. Some of the people you have in your life may be firm, some may be soft, and you need to adjust your communication sometimes based on who it is you're talking to. You can't always communicate the exact same way as you would your partner versus how you would your boss. You know what I mean? You got to know how to adjust and understand your audience and know how and when and what to do what in any environment you might be in. Because I'm telling you, if you talk the same way to your spouse or your boss, you're either going to be single or unemployed. So just understand your audience, understand where you are and how to communicate with different people. You'll go a lot further. So I just want to leave you guys with this. So just remember, when you're communicating with someone, you're not communicating with yourself. You're communicating with the other person via phone, via email, via text, maybe in person, text messaging especially, because I know people can take things wrong in the text message. So I just want us to start thinking through some of the things that we say and how we communicate to each other, and really trying to process the conversation versus just being in the conversation for it being a conversation. So just be smarter, think more about what we do each and every day, and I promise you we'll be much better off. Well, that concludes another episode with the Mind's Eye with Mike Lowry. Again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Again, I'll say like, share, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned. There's more to come.